The arena fell silent as Maya stepped into the combat ring, her boots barely making a sound against the metal floor. The translucent dome overhead cast a pale blue light across the spectator stands, where thousands of beings from dozens of species had gathered to witness what many considered to be the most anticipated match of the intergalactic tournament. Across from her, the Vortanian champion flexed his 4 muscular arms, each ending in clawed hands that could tear through standard starship plating. His scales shimmered like oil on water, and his triple-jointed legs gave him a natural fighting stance that had dominated every ring he'd entered. The crowd's roar was deafening, mostly alien species cheering for their champion, with only a small section of humans present to support Maya. "Competitors ready," the referee announced through the universal translator. The synthetic being floated above the ring on anti-grav units, its sensor array scanning both fighters. Standard rules apply. Match ends with submission, knockout, or death. Maya rolled her shoulders, feeling the familiar weight of Earth's gravity that the artificial system had been set to. The tournament organizers had initially protested when she requested it be set to standard human gravity, assuming it would give her an advantage. They hadn't understood that she'd trained her entire life under 1.3 Earth gravities on her home colony world. The signal blared, and the Vortanian moved faster than most biologicals should have been able to. His lower pair of arms swept low while the upper pair came down in a crushing overhead strike. Maya had seen him fight before. She'd studied every match, every movement pattern. She sidestepped with minimal effort, letting his massive form crash into the space where she'd stood. The crowd gasped as the Vortanian's claws left gouges in the reinforced arena floor. He spun with surprising grace, his tail, nearly as thick as Maya's torso, sweeping in a wide arc. This time Maya dropped low, feeling the rush of air as the appendage whished overhead. "Fight, human!" someone screamed from the stands. "Don't. Just run." Maya smiled grimly. Running wasn't in her vocabulary. Her instructors back on Titan Station had taught her that humans might not be the strongest, fastest, or most naturally armored species in the galaxy, but they had something most aliens lacked: persistence and adaptability. The Vortanian charged again, this time leading with a barrage of strikes from all 4 arms. Maya weaved between them, her human reflexes, honed by years of training in variable gravity, allowing her to read the patterns others couldn't see. Each movement was precise, calculated. She wasn't dodging randomly. She was positioning. "Stand still and fight," the Vortanian roared in universal standard, frustration evident in his voice. Maya's eyes narrowed. "As you wish." The next charge came, and this time Maya didn't move. The Vortanian's primary right arm came down in a devastating overhead strike that had crumpled armor in previous matches. The crowd held its breath as the massive fist descended. Maya's left hand shot up, catching the wrist mid-strike. The impact sent shockwaves through her body, but her stance held. Her right hand intercepted the second arm. The Vortanian's lower arms reached for her midsection, and she shifted her weight, guiding their momentum past her. For a moment, they stood there in a test of strength, 4 arms against 2. The Vortanian was easily twice her mass, his natural strength augmented by his species' evolution on a high-gravity world. But Maya was from Earth's colonies, where they'd selected and trained specifically for combat in the harshest conditions humanity had found. The first tremor appeared in the Vortanian's upper left arm. Maya felt it through her grip and smiled. "You wanted a fight. Here it is." She pivoted, using his own momentum and leverage against him. Every human combat form she'd learned, from ancient martial arts to modern zero-G fighting techniques, flowed together. The Vortanian tried to withdraw one arm to reset his stance, but Maya had already committed to the movement. His balance broke. Maya swept his support leg while pulling him forward, and suddenly all that mass was working against him. He tried to counter, but she'd already shifted her grip, redirecting his falling weight. The Vortanian crashed to the arena floor with enough force to crack the reinforced surface. Before he could recover, Maya was on him. Her knee found the nerve cluster at the base of his neck, a weakness she'd memorized from her study sessions. Her hands moved in rapid succession, striking pressure points that would disable without causing permanent damage. The Vortanian's struggle weakened, then ceased. He tapped the floor with one massive hand, the universal gesture of submission. The arena went dead silent for a heartbeat, then erupted in chaos. Half the crowd roared in approval, while the other half seemed unable to process what they'd witnessed. Maya stood breathing heavily but steady. She offered her hand to the fallen champion, who looked at it with confusion before accepting the gesture. As she helped him to his feet, he spoke quietly. "How?" "Humans," Maya said simply. "We fall down. We get back up. We lose. We learn. We get hit. We adapt. It's what we do." The referee confirmed the win, and Maya raised one hand in acknowledgement to the crowd. As she walked from the ring, she could hear the commentators trying to explain to their audiences what had just happened. "The human didn't avoid the attack," one was saying. "She used it. She turned his strength into a weakness." In the tunnel leading from the arena, Maya found her small team waiting. Her coach handed her a towel and water. "That's what happens," she said, loud enough for the nearby aliens to hear. "When you bring a hammer to a chess match." Her match would be replayed across the galaxy for years to come, the day a human demonstrated that sometimes standing still required more courage than running, and that intelligence could indeed triumph over raw power. The Deathworlder girl had stood her ground, and it was the champion who had dropped. Word count, 997 words.